As I said, this is an interesting one with, India perhaps the favourites from the morning. We've heard that. The last winners, 2012 winners with Dwayne Bravo, 2014 winners represented by Sanath Jayasuriya, and finally from Habibul Bashar, Bangladesh, the way the Bangladeshis have improved. So I'll start with you, VVS. India favourites going into the championship?
Yeah, without a doubt. I think the way they have played since the Australia T20 series, whitewash in Australia, beating Sri Lanka 2-1, and then the way they played and dominated in the Asia Cup, I think it looks a settled side. They're playing ruthless cricket, they're playing consistent cricket, and in all the departments, they've outplayed the opposition so far, which is great sign. So for me, India start as favourites.
Sanath, post Mahela, post Sangha, Sri Lanka is not even good enough as Bangladesh. I mean, one time Bangladesh was a minnow, but now you guys are minnows. Why?
Yeah, I think we'll have to accept that we are not playing well at the moment, and very disappointing performances during Asia Cup. So we lost quite a few senior cricketers past 2 years, and I think for us to come back and competitive, we need to, if you want to play competitive cricket, we need to play well. So I think it's a big task for Sri Lanka cricket to get best players at the moment. So I think to be in competitive cricket, Sri Lanka cricket at the moment working very hard.
Come on, Sanath, give me my headline. Say what you wanted to say. Is this team, if you were chairman of selectors, would you have picked Thirimana or not?
Definitely, I just said earlier, unfortunate thing is when Mahela and Sangha was playing, Thirimana, Sekuge Prasanna, Ashan Priyanjana, those young cricketers were in the squad. But unfortunately, they are not in the squad at the moment. So Thirimana is a key player for Sri Lanka cricket. And if you see those wickets they played recently, it's seaming wickets, it's moving, and you need a player like consistent player to hold one side. So unfortunately, for me, I miss Thirimana a lot. So that's a key player for Sri Lanka cricket, and I hope the selectors or whoever who are responsible, and we need Thirimana back, and also Sekuge Prasanna, Ashan Priyanjan, those young cricketers, we've been banking on it. So if you want to go to develop our cricket, we need to give them a fair bit of a chance. Unfortunately, we have not given.
Dwayne, if there's any side in this World T20 with individual talent that perhaps plays T20 cricket the best, it's the West Indies. I mean, all of you are real stars from playing T20 cricket across the world. But perhaps the only problem, given the kind of issues you've had with your board and elsewhere, is can you all gel as a team?
Yeah, definitely. We feel very comfortable in this format. So despite of all the off-the-field issues, it's a format that we feel that, we belong in world cricket, and we can actually, we won the title at one point in time. So definitely we know to ourselves and as a group that we are actually good enough collectively as a team, not just as individual players, but we been there, win titles. I think at the moment we are the number 2 team in the world behind India. So to me, I think, you look at both teams on paper, we're basically the strongest. Also, both teams play very well, and we are very excited and looking forward to this tournament.
But is it the West Indies team that is now committed for a West Indian cause, or is it about the Big Bash at the IPL? What is your primary interest, West Indies or the IPL?
No, for us as professional cricketers, we seek our interest as players. We can only do what is best for us. We always want to play for West Indies and represent West Indies, but a lot of people don't see the other side of the way we've been treated. So, we could only play if selected. If not selected, then you can't play. So I think, when a lot of people on the outside see us playing Big Bash, see us playing IPL and those other leagues, we only playing because we are not selected.
Habibul, if there's one side which has improved leaps and bounds, is Bangladesh. What happened from, say, 2014 onwards, going into the 2015 World Cup and now, that's actually revolutionized Bangladesh cricket?
Yes, it is. I mean, whenever Bangladesh started playing cricket in international level regularly, there is a lot of interest about cricket amongst all the people in Bangladesh. And cricket is the number one game. It's followed by everyone. Whenever Bangladesh played, there's a lot of huge interest and passion about this game. We've been playing cricket for a long time, and we've not been really a consistent team. When there is a win and lose all the time, but we really didn't play constant cricket. 2014 we had a lean year. We haven't won many matches. We lost a lot of close matches, but 2015 the team has been changed. I mean, if you look at the team, we have a good balance with young star and senior players. I think that made a huge difference between the old team and new teams. Young star is performing, and Bangladesh is not only relying on a couple of players. Now everyone is performing. Like in past, we heavily depended on players like Saqib or Tamim to perform to win Bangladesh. But if you look at the team now, there are a lot of youngsters are doing well, and we don't have to wait for the good days for the other only one or two players. I mean, when team needs someone is come and perform. And if you look at our bowling, it has been a big change. I mean, Bangladesh, everyone known about our spinners, but the fast bowlers came up and they are doing really well, and that I think made a big difference between previous Bangladesh team and this team.
VVS, if there's, T20 is also about impact and the kind of impact one has. Is it Virat Kohli, is it Chris Gayle, is it Brendan McCullum not playing this T20, but players like that, AB de Villiers? If there's one player that you need to pick on current form as the best in the world in terms of impact and finishing games, who will it be?
Oh, without a doubt, it will be Virat Kohli. The way he has played over the last 6 months in T20 format. We always knew that Virat was exceptional in test match cricket as well as in one-day international cricket. But the way he has raised his game to a different level in T20 format is sensational. You saw the consistency in Australia, all the 3 matches, he's got more than 50 runs. And in Asia Cup, not only consistent but also adaptability. You saw when India was playing against Pakistan and Amir was on song, fiery spell from Amir, but he adapted. He gave credit to what Amir was doing, and then he settled down and played such a mature knock. So I think he's someone who is evolving every time I see, he's improving every time I'm seeing him. And most important thing is he loves to play under pressure. And T20 format is all about pressure. And the pressure shifts from one team to other in just 1 or 2 overs. So I think Virat Kohli is the man in form. His situational awareness is fantastic to see. And that's why India is very lucky. And at number 3, if you have someone who's consistent, he will win more matches for his team, which Virat Kohli is doing at the moment.
So Dwayne, when India plays the West Indies in Calcutta on the 10th, you have the ball and Virat Kohli is batting. What are you doing?
Bowl a slower ball.
But,
I guess.
So you think there's a weakness? Is there a weakness?
No. I have to agree. He's playing he's a very good player. So it's not only now, but his form is very good at the moment. But Virat is a world-class player. So world-class player, I give them their respect. But at the same time, for me, I always back my skills. I back myself, regardless of who are the batter. But at the moment, he's playing well. I'm also bowling well at the moment also. So let's see.
Let's sort of get to captaincy a little bit. I mean, Dwayne, I'll start with you and then ask VVS and Sanath to react as well. You've played with MS. I mean, you've played with MS for Chennai. You've played. What is it about MS? And do you think it's the same MS of old, or has he lost a bit of sheen? Because yesterday we saw MS come out and express himself, the words that VVS keeps using. But before that, it was a kind of MS which has changed a little bit. Talk about MS. I mean, how good is he?
For me, definitely one of the best captains I play under. He has that knack of keeping the entire environment calm. Allow players to express themselves, be themselves, so that's very good. Handle pressure very well. He thinks clearly under pressure, and he get the entire team to relax, even though we might find ourselves in a spot of bother. When I look at MS, he never look as though he's under any kind of pressure. So as a player, when you look at your leader, that he always positive regardless of the situation of the game. It's always good as an individual. So yeah, one of the best captains that I played, and I think one of the best captains that the game I've ever seen. And
VVS, MS still the same as old?
Absolutely. Just to add on Dwayne, because he's played under MS at CSK. One quality which I really loved about MS, not only as a captain but as a person, is very equanimous. Right from the first time I saw MSD, I think never ever he changes because of what has happened on a cricket ground. And that is an important quality to have as a captain. He has tasted a lot of success since 2007 T20 World Cup, but the worst I have seen MS was during the 2011 England and Australia series. We were an experienced side, but we got trashed by both these sides. And even at that moment, I didn't see MS changing his character, which was great. In fact, I was in slips and I congratulated MS in my last test match in Adelaide. That, phenomenal, and that's why you're a special person. You're a special captain. With his batting, suddenly he's realized that he's got finishers. He's not the lone finisher in this T20 side. He's got Yuvraj to do that role. He's got Suresh Raina to do that role. He's got Hardik Pandya to do the role. So not too much pressure on him. But if you saw in 2015, MS had to do both the jobs. Is to anchor the innings from the 40th over in one-day cricket. Because if he is out, then India would be bowled out. Because Jadeja was not fulfilling the role of an all-rounder, Ashwin still not established power hitter or a finisher. And that's where the selectors did a fantastic job. They have allowed MS now to go and play with a lot of freedom. And that's why I say a captain is as good as his team. But he knows the strengths and the weakness of each and every team member. And he extracts the best from his players. And that's what makes MS Dhoni the best captain I've seen.
Sanath, sort of take off from that. I mean, the difference between an MS and a Dinesh Chandimal was apparent during that series. I mean, in terms of field placings, bowling changes. Now we had Lasith captaining but didn't play. Angelo Matthews captain. So who's your captain? Who's your captain for the World T20? You were chairman.
I think they're going to Angelo Matthews. So that's the option we have at the moment because he has been the captain for the 50 overs and the test cricket. So he's the player, we have the experienced player. So I think we should give Angelo a chance for this T20 World Cup to lead the team. I don't know whether they pick for the World Cup 15 or yet for the time being. So for me, Angelo to be captain is much better because he's also like I said, like VVS said, Dhoni, and he also very calm and cool character. He never panic and he always back his players. And in the same time, he wants to a proper team to captain. That's always, if I captain, I should go with a proper team. If I don't get a proper team, I should not captain or I should not go. So I hope if he captains, he get what he wants.
Okay, on that note, he says proper team. I will have a few more questions for my guests before I open it up for some audience questions as well. Bashar bhai, I'll start with you. Proper team. I'll come to you, sir. Give me a few moments. Proper team. Pick your four. Pick your four semi-finalists for the World T20. Put yourself in the hot seat and pick your four teams. Who would it be?
In T20 World Cup?
Yeah.
Definitely India will be my number one team because of their form and playing in India. Australia will be Australia, South Africa. Number 4 maybe Bangladesh.
Otherwise you wouldn't be able to go back to Bangladesh. I was about to say that. Please pick.
Bangladesh can't come. Australia and Bangladesh
Can't come because it'll be...
All right.
So, however much I love to say Joy Bangla, you won't be able to go back, believe me. So, Australia or Bangladesh? Come on, my audience wants to know.
Bangladesh.
There comes the nationalist. Sanath, your 4. Don't tell me Sri Lanka won't make it.
Like VVS said, I don't know which group in Sri Lanka. I don't want to the whole group in the semi-finals. So for me, India will be there.
Okay.
For sure.
Okay.
South Africa in same group?
No, the other group. South Africa and West Indies are in your group.
South Africa for me, one team for sure.
Okay. Dwayne is sitting and looking at you and he sort of blasts you if you don't pick
West Indies also. I have some feeling for West Indies also. This time they want to do well because Dwayne is there and also the good the batting lineup they have and the all-rounders and they have a good chance.
So it's South Africa, West Indies, India and who's the fourth? Among Australia, possibly Bangladesh, New Zealand and Pakistan.
I back New Zealand also.
New Zealand, interesting. So it's New Zealand, South Africa, West Indies and India for Sanath. Dwayne, pick yourself and then give me my 3.
West Indies, South Africa, India, New Zealand.
Now, I'm not going to give you the easy option of picking the 4. Now, pick the 2. Pick the 2 finalists. VVS Laxman owns Eden Gardens, okay? The finals are in Kolkata. If there is any man who can lay a claim to that stadium, every possible match, 100, the best, okay, let's digress. Let's digress. The best ever test innings played by an Indian, ever. How many of you go for 281? How many of you go for 281? I can see some serious hands there. That is, for me, the best ever test innings played by an Indian. And on that note, can I please have a round of applause for VVS Laxman? Now, please tell me your 2.
Korea, we're talking about T20 cricket.
No problem.
And the owner of Eden Gardens is Saurav Ganguly, not me.
We'll take it from Dada. Now he's president, so we'll give it to you for some time.
Yeah, I think my finalists will be South Africa and India. I think 2 formidable sides. But just to answer the questions which other experts have answered, West Indies and Australia. So they are the 4 semi-finalists, but South Africa and India.
Okay, my final round of...
And India to win.
Final round, India to win. Final round of quick questions before I open it up. How difficult is to play under home conditions and home pressure? I mean, when we sort of go the other side and put pressure on you all saying, baying for your blood, etc., etc., how tough is to combat Indian fanatical crowds?
Okay, I'll ask a counter question. Except for Dhaka yesterday, wherever I've seen India play, it's a home condition.
Correct.
It's home support. And I think the Indian team is so fortunate to have amazing followers. You know, when I was in Australia, they were talking the amazing, electrifying atmosphere at the MCG, where 80% of the crowd was Indians. Even now, during this Australia and India one day as well as T20 series, it was Indians in the crowd. They outnumbered the Australians, and when Indians are there in the crowd, you can, who will be more vocal?
Fabulous.
Of course, has to be India. But having said that, I think what I see with this T20 side and this T20 World Cup, it will be very similar to the 2011 50-over World Cup. If you see this squad of India, it's got the same balance as it was in the 2011 World Cup. You got match winners, and not 1 or 2, but I believe that everyone in that squad are match winners. You saw someone like Bumrah who just made his international debut, probably one of the best overs I saw at that. Mahmudullah at his best, and he just gave away some 6 or 7 runs yesterday. So I think India has to start favourites, and they will just probably get a lot from the energy in the crowd, you know, because Indians love these Indian teams. Indians always are well-wishers of this Indian team, and I'm sure that they will draw all the energy from the crowd. And MS Dhoni will tell to his players is think about the process, don't think about the expectations he will be having and his team will be having from the world, but just think about the process, do the process right, you will get the result. And that is what this Indian team at the moment is doing. They're doing the processes right, they're achieving the small targets, and because of that, the results automatically are going in their favor.
Dwayne, how much will you miss Sunil Narine and Kiran Pollard?
Yeah, we're going to miss them a lot. The 2 of them, obviously, 2 world-class players, and they have done well in India. You know, it's not very easy to replace them, and we can't replace them. At the same time, we also lost Landell Simmons, who is also another good player, my younger brother Darren. So we lost 4 key players into this tournament due to injury and stuff. But, you know, we still have players who there can actually get the job done. You know, we still have the likes of Andrew Russell, Chris Gayle, Marlon Samuel Badri,
Dwayne Bravo,
Darren Sami, all those guys. We're still there. We're still enjoying it, and we want to do well. We really want to do well. For us, it might be our last World Cup. The next one is in the next 4 years. So
hey, 2 years. Come on.
No,
World T20 is every 2 years.
4 years.
Now 4 years. Yeah.
4 years. So it could be our last. So definitely, we want to do something special.
Wow. Sanath, chairman of selectors for Sri Lanka easier, television commentary easier?
No, the commentary is better.
Okay. So that tells you the state of Sri Lanka cricket.
Less pressure.
Bashar bhai, Bangladesh, after the Asia Cup performance, people are hoping that you all can sort of really be the dark horse?
We really hope so. Before this Asia Cup, we are not really doing very well in T20.
Correct.
We're doing very well in 50 overs, but we're not sure about our game and in T20 format. But this Asia Cup definitely gives us a lot of confidence. I think Bangladesh knows now what the strength we have and our weakness as well. So it's definitely going to help us. And unfortunately, we have to play the preliminary round first, but that we can take it as a practice as well, because we don't play T20 a lot as a team. So that can help us to getting set with the condition as well. So let's hope for the best, and the team is doing pretty well. It's going to be a big challenge, definitely, because the group we have is kind of, we can say, the death group.
You've got a good Sri Lankan coach.
Yeah, Hatul and the coaching staff done a brilliant job.
Your support staff is half Sri Lankan.
Yeah, we are Sri Lankan. So the group we have is a death group. So it's very important that that group we don't make many mistakes, because it's going to be very difficult. But let's hope for the best, and we are hoping to do well in this T20 World Cup.
Okay, let's open it up for questions. Hands, yes, I can see a hand there. Can I have a microphone there, please? Yes, the gentleman there. Introduce yourself, sir, and ask your question.
Sir, this question is for all of you. Sir, which bowler you are most afraid to play?
I'm retired. So ask Dwayne.
No, he'll play.
When you are playing.
You still play the Masters. Come on. No problem.
Masters,
you
everyone
play
is
the
tough to play.
All-Stars also.
For me, in my career, it was Wasim Akram. And even though I didn't play Wasim Akram at his peak, because I played him in 1999, where he was not probably as quick as he was at the start of his career, but the amount of variation Wasim had and control over his variation, with the new ball, with the old balls, conventional swing, reverse swing, sharp bouncer, good Yorker, and great reader of the game. He would always put pressure on the batsman and always look to be aggressive. So for me, it was Wasim Akram.
Dwayne, yours? Most difficult bowler you faced?
Most difficult. I had Saeed Ajmal when
You're taking someone who's not playing this T20
when he was on top of his game, Ajmal. But for me, most left unorthodox, apart from Sanath, used to give me problems. Any good left unorthodox, Jadeja, all those guys. I'm not a big fan of left unorthodox, so yeah.
Sanath?
I think I will add with VVS Wasim Akram. I played when he was in peak, so it was very difficult for me to face. The first tour is 1990 in Pakistan. He was playing with deck shoes. Yeah, he bowled with deck shoes. He bowled everything, in swing, out swing, bouncers, Yorkers. You can't read him. So that time, I don't know how reverse swing, how to get this ball going away in nothing. But he is the master. So I think Wasim Akram.
Bashar?
Well, I always struggled batting as Muralidharan, because I never tried very hard with everything, but never could get his dustra. I always fail. And he never stops bowling. He always come back at you, and he always attacks. And his dustra is always unrival to you. So for me, Muralidharan, I always struggle.
Finally, a sneak peek into champion. We will get Dwayne here. The dance director will be Sanath Jayasuriya. The producer will be VVS Laxman, and the Bangladesh rights will be bought by Habibul Bashar, with an entire audience composed of Indians. So this is the first sneak peek for Aaj Tak in India today. Dwayne, the stage is all set. So, and as usual, what I am good at, I will be on commentary. So I will ask my colleagues to please bear with me on that.
Boria, as a producer, I've got everything ready. I've got the audience, I've got the stage set, everything is there.
Everything is for West India.
It's the director's job.
All yours. I'll hold the microphone.
There it is, music.
Gangnam Style. 한적인 여자 커피 한 잔에 여유를 아는 품격 있는 여자 밤이 오면 심장이 뜨거워지는 여자 그런 반전 있는 여자 너는 선호해 낮에는 너만큼 따사로운 저 선호해 커피 식기도 전에 원샷 때리는 선호해.
On that note, please can I have a standing round of applause for all my guests? VVS Laxman, Dwayne Bravo, Sanath Jayasuriya and Habibul Bashar.